Welcome back, City Kid. And Moses. Moses, you aren't allowed to talk unless you've got your hand on your head. Moses, hand on top of your head.
Like this?
And I want you to end every sentence with the word octopus.
Jane, I'm not...
Octopus, Moses.
Right. Jane, I don't really understand why you're doing this. Octopus.
Now, the next rule, I want you to say everything while holding your tongue.
Jane, this whole thing really silly and I just don't get the point, Octopus.
If you could just do like a silly dance while speaking to me, I think we'll have the basics of the rule book covered.
Jane, I'm sorry, this just feels ridiculous.
Huh.
What's the point of all these rules and what do they have to do with me?
Well, so I was reading a bit ahead in Exodus, and I saw that God gave the people of Israel rules through you, Moses, and the Israelites seemed to follow them. So I figured we should have rules here at Good News with CKTV. You know, to keep following the Bible.
I see, Jane. I see what you're thinking, but I don't think you have it quite right.
No?
No, you must have read Exodus 20, where God gave me the 10 Commandments.
Yep.
But I think you missed a few key things. First, God was able to make these rules because he was God and they were his people. Verse 2 says, I brought you out of the land of Egypt where you were slaves.
Well, you're absolutely right that I'm not God, but I'm still in charge here, so...
But God didn't just make these rules because he was in charge, Jane. He gave us these rules so that we could love him better and so we could love each other better. He gave us these rules to help us focus on the most important thing, Jane, him. See, these rules aren't silly or pointless. They help us to be in relationship with God.
So God didn't make the rules just to give you rules. He made them so that you could know him better?
And that's why God sent Jesus too. We were choosing to break God's rules and make up our own. And that sin was separating us from God. But God wanted us to be connected to him. So he sent Jesus to pay the price for our sins, defeating death and Satan, reuniting us with God forever.
So even though these rules are for our good, we still weren't perfect at following them. But Jesus was. And because we put our trust in him, our relationship with God is fixed. You know, Moses, I've changed my mind. You don't have to follow any of the rules I made up earlier. We'll just follow the rules that lead us closer to God.
Yes.
So, City Kids, it's been great to have you with us today. We can't wait to hang out with you more next week as we journey together with God. But until then, keep trusting Jesus. Noise.
The only part I messed up on was the passage.
Yeah, but I reckon you got enough of it.
Okay, good.
And God spoke all these words, saying, I am the Lord your God. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery, out of the house of slavery. And you shall have no other gods before me. And you shall have no other gods before me. Yeah, you shall have no other gods before me. No other gods before me. No other gods. before me. You shall have no other gods before me. Yeah, you shall have no other gods before me. No other gods before me. No other gods.
Exodus 20, 1 through 3.